Exactly. We have to keep spreading the love. There is too much hate in the world, and only one word, one smile can change someone's entire world. It's so easy, and sometimes it's the people around you where you wouldn't really suspect that they're in need of that small act of kindness just to totally bright up their day and maybe, make them go on a totally different mental path for the entire day. Just by saying one kind word, just by acknowledging someone and listening to them a little bit, saying something kind to them. So do that. It's worth it. So maybe you guys would like an example of the melodic playing I'm doing there. It doesn't have to be that hard. We're in F sharp minor now, so let's do... So I'm going to bend up to the 5th. So from the 12th fret B string, we're going to be bending, and we don't want to perform our bend with just one finger. It can be a little bit tempting. But even though you're only fretting on one fret here, we're still going to be using the other fingers to leverage strength. So we're going to be bending up from that 12th fret B string, it's the B note as well, a whole step. So it's going to sound like this note on the 14th fret. And that in itself is pretty melodic if you listen. Just a nice bend that is in pitch is oftentimes enough to create some melody. But here we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to be adding an extra little note on top of that bend. So check this out. So it's like we were doing this. But it sounds cooler because we're bending, and it just gives a more of a bit like a pitch wheel, but organic pitch wheel thing on our guitar. So and I do this quite a bit, Joe Google, here's some rock and roll for you. Hey there, no justice, no peace. That's a good username. So that bending thing, I think, is very useful. It's inspired by Slash. And it's just a very cool way to add some extra notes on top of those bends. And you can phrase them like you want to. Yeah, Joe Satriani probably does this quite a bit as well. The man, the myth. Thank you, Brady. So, another thing which I do as well, which is, I would qualify as fairly melodic. It's a bit more aggressive, a bit more rock sounding, but we can play that in combination with the melodic bend I just showed you. So this is also, I think, it's very basic rock and roll, but it's timeless. It always works. So what that is like a unison bend, right? We're bending up to the note we're playing. So it's something like this. If we're in F sharp, we can do it here on the 14th fret high E string. We're going to fret with index finger, playing the F sharp note. And then we're going to bend from the 17th fret B string to the same note, right? And just like the previous lick or bend, we're going to be supporting with at least one additional finger. So we got... And here's a little tip for you. You can actually do this on pretty much every scale note. So we're in F sharp minor. I'm going to try to do it on every scale note just going down. So something like that. Please let me know if you guys can see and hear me when the backing track is playing, and if there's any choppiness. I could restart the stream if it's choppy or something like that. So let's try one more time. I'm going to show you how Chris just showing off. Fast fingers, Kristoffer. Ulf Sjölén, hur är läget? I'm just going to take a wild guess you're Swedish. So now some of them don't sound as good as the others, but as long as there's a movement and we don't stay on one specific, it works, right? And I mess up a little bit there, but I think if we put together both of the tricks I showed you now, if you missed the beginning of the stream, you can watch the replay. I showed you how to do this kind of Slash-inspired bend. And then if we add the Unison bend as well, we get this. I don't know, but it's a cool trick, and since you guys asked about melodic playing, I think that's a very cool melodic tool right there for you. Oh, awesome, no clipping or choppiness. Thank you for confirming. I don't know why, but YouTube complained a little bit, so have to check with you guys. It looks okay on my end as well. Like this chat, thank you, Valencio. So let's see here. Pretty cool. Now, of course, if we start combining some more, I should say, aggressive techniques with these bends, it gets even more interesting. Oh, John, missed your comment. The color of this guitar, I think this may be Cherry Burst, but I'm not sure. I don't remember the name. It's a Gibson LPE for LPJ from 2014 something. They don't produce them anymore. Effing dope. Thank you, Justin. I'll buy him a coffee. Brady, you're the man. Here's a link for you. And it continues. That's the Brady lick. It's the Brady lick of the day. I think you get a lick every day, but you're worth it. So as you can tell, I'm kind of constantly returning to those basic ideas I had, and which I showed you. Maybe I can give you an example of something a bit faster. So if we have an intermediate or advanced players here, you can work on combining these melodic ideas with some more aggressive, kind of attention-grabbing licks. I can jam a little bit and we can break one of those down. So we had this, right? That's the Slash-inspired bend I showed you. And we have this. Now let's see what more like fast runs we can use to kind of dive into those melodic phrases. It's not rude at all, Navjot. Actually, we're going to speak about the scales I use very soon, because I'm going to be using these in the faster runs. So just stick around and we'll cover it. So I'm just trying to figure out which are my favorite ways of building up towards these kind of bendy ideas that I showed you. And I think one of the possibly easier ones, and I'm going to try to not get way too advanced here, is going to be the just a basic pentatonic run. But it can get as complicated as you want to. Sometimes do you sound like that, right? But even if you don't do a lot of that fast picking, you can still do maybe some hammer-ons and pull-offs. So I would suggest something like that to dive into this unison lick that I just broke down for you. So if we're in F-sharp minor in our trusty pentatonic box, we're going to be starting on the 14th fret D string, and we're just going to play that pentatonic scale upwards. If you have the chops to pick, otherwise do pick, hammer-on, pick, hammer-on, pick, hammer-on, pick, hammer-on, till you've reached the top. So it's just 14, 16, 14, 16, 14, 17, 14, 17. Okay, and here begins the fun, because now we have to try to get into our bendy lick. The secret scale, not sure what that is. So we're just going to go down and then into our unison bend. So all the way up, and then we go down to the 17th fret on the B string, and that's when we start the unison bend. However, depending on what you're jamming over, you're going to have to adjust the timing a little bit, and that is why as soon as you have the chops, your biggest issue in life is going to be timing, and that's what I'm working on the most. So let's try it. So that works, right? I kind of let that, I'm stretching the timing of that bend, and that's how I get it to somewhat sound in time. And yes, speaking of hybrid scales, we could definitely add the second to make it like a hexatonic scale, or borrow one note from the minor scale. And that's going to be the 16th fret on the high E string. And this can help a little bit, again, to kind of get the timing right, depending on what you're jamming over. So let's try it. That's actually something I do a lot. So if you're working on getting into that unison bend, adding that extra note on the 16th fret high E string is possibly gonna be very helpful. I do that quite a bit with the longer runs as well. So So as you can hear, those unison bends are very useful. I do them all the time, right? So again, we're just bending up to the fret note we're targeting on the high E string. So I'm bending from the 17th fret to reach that 14th fret high E string. So the F sharp note, in other words. So let's try to play a little bit with these concepts and you can hear them in action. I have to restart the backing track. Sorry, I don't know canon rock. Let's do a long one. Sorry for all the funny faces, by the way. Usually when you see funny faces, it's a sign the guitarist is trying to dig into it, and that's what I was doing there. So, Brent Anderson, the secret scale is a hybrid blues scale. I don't know what that is. Maybe like the Dorian Flat 5 is a hybrid blues scale that I like quite a bit. It's kind of symmetrical. So it's just like if you're an F sharp minor, it's just going to be 14, 16, 17 on the top 3 strings. So it's kind of easy to remember, right? So if you're in... You do... Oops. We're just down here. Is it that one, perhaps? Root, minor second, major third. Okay, so it's not that one. Sharp fourth. Oof. What's that? Minor second, major third. Oh, this is the Phrygian dominant, right? No, sharp fourth. Oh, that's a weird one. Fifth. Is that supposed to sound good? I'm gonna have to try it on my own. Mattias Stoffe. Hur är läget, Matte? Mycket trevligt att ha dig här. Jag hoppas att du har en bra, vad blir det, måndag morgon med en varm kopp kaffe i handen. So I totally forgot where I was at, but that's okay because you have so many cool comments coming in here. Could you please describe how could I practice different time signatures? I never practice different time signatures. But a funny thing is, as soon as I write a riff or something like that, it's usually not in 4/4. So I guess the only crappy advice I can give you is probably just write a riff that's not in standard signature and record it and create a backing track or jam away, maybe do a song with it, and you're going to get the best practice you can possibly imagine. Sorry, I couldn't give you a better answer. Oh, okay, so it's an Indian classical. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to give it some... it's an unusual sound for sure. Ooh, Crazy Train. I don't even know that. Maybe over here, it's an F sharp minor after all. Okay, let's say this is the solo. Here's for you, Veronica. Pentatonic scale. So if we're pretending to be playing Crazy Train, I think maybe some tapping, right? He used to do quite a bit of that. I need to work on that. Better stick to it. So if you just arrived, we have broken down some of these melodic licks and even one of the faster runs. If you guys want to try some of this out, right? Oh yes, and the backing track, I think it might be free, the backing track. Let me double check. Okay, not completely free. Oh yes, you can get one version free here, so I'm gonna give you the link. But there are like 10 really cool free licks here, so you might want to check that out. Play Hotel California, sorry, don't know it. Massimiliano, what's up, my man? What the hardest song I know? I don't remember any songs. If you had asked me back in the days, I would probably have played like a fast Metallica riff. Yeah, that's the hardest one, but I don't have a clue. I mean, hardest is all relative. I think when people ask about that, it's generally what's the fastest one. That's what they're asking about. I mean, I guess playing this is tricky if you're not comfortable with the down picking. I don't know, but I haven't played songs for decades, so a lot of the stuff I do, I think, is harder than any of the songs I learned back in the days. But it's improvised. That's what I like. Oh, secrets. Oh, hybrid between major and minor scale. I do that quite a bit, actually, mix minor and major scale. To me, that's a bluesy thing, like a B.B. King thing. It's a very cool thing you can do in a lot of different styles. It's just a good way to visualize an interesting blend of notes. You could just see it as a whole big scale, and I think maybe that's what you told me there, the weird sounding scale. So, yeah. Megadeth. Whew, I don't remember. It's like... No. I don't know. What's the other one? I like this one. No. Something like that. The more of you that I expect, the more of me I see reflect. Huh. Sorry, don't know Sultans of Swing. I mean, this kind of thing is a little bit inspired from the Sultans of Swing solo, right? If I do the... I don't know any opus, sorry. Euthanasia, no, I don't remember the track. Doing you a favor? No, that's not the one. Yeah, it is. As I'm taking all your money, I guess I should feel sorry. Domination, no, I don't. Sweet Child of Mine. I don't remember more of the song, but she's got eyes. We've established that. That's good. She's got legs. She's got a smile that, it seems to me, reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as great as... Mr. Crowley, I don't know. So many requests. But I'm really crappy at songs. I haven't played songs for decades, you know. What intrigues me is all about, you know, jamming away. And I'm happy to break any of these techniques down if you'd be interested in that. That's just my way of apologizing for not knowing any of the songs you're requesting. Sorry, I don't know November Rain. It's a great track, though. Andrew, cool question. What do you practice to get your right hand picking speed up to par? So that's a pretty cool question. No. I don't remember it. But the picking question, maybe I can provide a bit more value with. So the thing is, the most common misconception about fast picking is like, so, you know, you have to figure out the secret. But there isn't really a secret. It's more of a, when you see someone picking, it's likely a combination of different styles of picking, especially if they have a flexible picking technique that allows them to do both, like 2 notes per string and maybe 3 notes per string. Maybe even like, I don't know, string skipping. So all of those require different picking approaches. And I think that's the number one insight there. You don't like learn one single picking technique if you want to be able to shred all over the guitar. You know, if you want to be able to go from whatever, then you have to learn a whole bunch of different techniques. That's what it's all about. And the reason being, playing fast with a pick is one thing. You can do that on one string, on one note. You can learn tremolo picking and it might sound okay, but as soon as there's string traverse involved, so basically when you go from one string to another, everything gets insanely more complicated. And that's when you have to start thinking a lot about picking angle. You have to basically learn a picking approach for each and every pattern, especially if they have different amount of notes in them, and if they're like even versus uneven notes per string. So that's just to give you a bit of background information. There isn't a simple answer to that, but it's a really good question. So the question was, you know, what do I use to get a good control of my picking? And also Ulf says something good there, a good technique in both left and right hand. That's also very important because a lot of times the left hand is going to compensate for the right hand's shortcoming. Especially if I have like a bad picking day, it happens way more often than I like to, and even the licks I'm comfortable with don't work, you know. So I try to pick and it doesn't work. So at that point, I just revert to legato. Most of the time I can play the run with left hand only. And as I get more warmed up, I can try to sneak in more picking notes. Let's try that. So in there, when I was ascending, it's all legato, just one pick per string. And then when I've reached the top string, I can maybe add a bit more higher picking frequency. So this is more picking, and on the way down it's a little bit easier, and then back up it's harder. Lots of picking here. Let's try to keep that one going down. It's okay. Going up, always harder, but now it's a little bit easier. I'm not sure you could tell, but when I was going ascending, I kind of didn't feel comfortable in the beginning, so I had to do legato. So pick and then 1, 2, 3. Pick 1, 2, 3, or rather pick 2, 3, pick 2, 3, pick 2, 3, pick 2, 3. And then I reached the top. I'm playing in like the F sharp minor scale now, and there I could. It's easier to play on one single string, right? That's why you see Yngwie do these amazing You can do that even when you're not warmed up if you've been playing for as long as he has. But again, when we're going down, it gets a little bit harder, but I find it easier to pick descending. And if I manage to do all of that, then usually when I try ascending again, it's a little bit easier. Whether I do economy picking, so down, up, down, down, up, down, down, or whether I do pigato, which is just pick, pick, hammer on, pick, pick, hammer on. And that's good because I play an even amount of pick notes per string, so I can do down, up, hammer on, down, up, hammer on, down, up, hammer on. I don't have to do the economy thing. But it just goes to show you how many different techniques I use in what seems to be a regular picking run. So here's a long answer to your question. I need to warm up with all of those techniques. So whether it be legato, as I said, because I use that as backup, or whether it be economy picking, which I do quite a bit, or whether it be standard down, up, alternate picking. That's the tricky way. I think if I just were to practice everything as one, that's when I fail usually, because if I isolate each of those, I can quite easily feel which one is giving me most problems, and I can focus more on warming up that one. Brant, is economy pick same as alternate pick? No, it's not. So economy picking is down, up, down, down. Okay? So one more time. Down, up, down, down. That's an example of economy picking. Alternate picking would be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can hear it's consistent. Every other time it's down and every other time it's up. Whereas economy picking, you have two downstrokes in a row. Down, up, down, down, up, down. And sometimes that's easier, but I think the issue with that is you get an interruption in that motion, right? And that's the hard part with it. It's very hard to try doing this and then all of a sudden do two downstrokes like that. It's just insanely hard. Your arm has to get involved and it's just tricky. So here's the alternate picking version. Alternate picking strictly every note. Economy picking. I'm not as good at that. That's economy picking. You can hear it in action now. You can't maybe tell by looking at me, but you can hear the sound of it. Alternate picking. Alternate picking has a better sound, but it's a little bit hard. So what I prefer to do is just pigato, right? Pick, pick, hammer on. So that's effortless and more effortless and easier. Can you guys hear this? I don't know how much comes through when I'm not amplified. Haha, who needs to pay for lessons when you have him? Thank you, Matt. Melvin Yerlén, do we have another Swede here, perhaps? Okay, so you could hear Wonderwall. There you have it, Wonderwall. I haven't played Ghost because I don't know any Ghost. I actually started listening to Ghost, and I like the music, but it's weird. I felt like, I don't know, I'm not Christian or anything like that, but I felt like Satan was way too close, so I had to stop listening. That's a weird one. That's probably a sign of their music being cool. Cool, we have lots of Swedes here. Många svenskar. Kan alla svenskar räcka upp handen? Okay, I think I missed some of your comments. Let me see here. You have a solution for stiff fingers. Good one, Uvels. So if you have stiff fingers, that is usually a result of your fingers being pushed to do something they don't want to. It's a bit like you're forcing someone to go out biking on a difficult trail in the forest and they're not ready for it. They're going to be super stiff and scared of dying, basically. That's how your fingers feel when you try to make them play something really fast and they're not ready for it. Do it, fingers, do it! You just have to do it! So in my experience, stiff fingers is purely a matter of pushing yourself to play too fast. You just have to spend more time in your comfort zone and preferably below your comfort zone. Because when you play very slowly, then you have time to actually start relaxing your whole posture and your fingers, including your fingers. But usually people who have stiff fingers, their whole upper body is problematic. It's all related. So try to be relaxed. Try to the extent possible have a kind of straight posture. Practice below your comfort speed, and that's when you have time to fix. Oops. So you can, even at slow tempos, try to be completely relaxed. So that technique kind of comes with you as you get faster and faster. That's the best generic advice I can give you. If I saw you play, I might be able to give you something more specific that could help you in a maybe shorter period of time. But most of the time, this is what I'm seeing. When people are really stiff, they've kind of learned a lot of material while practicing it too fast. So the solution is learn something new, but do it right from the beginning. I don't know. Hoochie Coo. Sorry, man. Jimi Hendrix. Oh, I think Jim is turning in his grave now. Well, I started off with Jimi Hendrix inspired licks, but then I got carried away. I think it happens to all of us. Jason Isbell, what's that? Sounds cool. Yeah, Richard, get the hours under your belt. Wise words. I mean, that's what it's all about in the end. This is almost a Les Paul Studio. It's an LPJ, so I think it's a Les Paul Studio Junior. Complicated name. No, I'm really crappy at classical nylon string and flamenco. I could play it to you, but that guitar has a broken string. I gotta fix that at some point. It's not a priority right now. I'm totally in an electric guitar mood, but usually I'm going through cycles, and sometimes I just get really tired of all my electric guitars and the sound I'm getting, and that's when I switch to acoustic, and that's when I start changing all these strings, but that hasn't happened for a while. Why can no one play like Jeff Beck? Good question. Maybe because he used his fingers so much? He used his volume knob quite a bit, didn't he? I don't know Jeff Beck really well, but I think a strap would be better for that kind of thing, but so this is an LPJ. Alec Jones, who's that? Remind me. I'm a Fender guy. This doesn't stay in tune too good, but I think I could work on the setup a little bit. I haven't given this guitar or any of my guitars much love the last years. I just play them a lot. I should really go fix them. Actually, this one has stayed in tune now by some miracle, but I actually lubed it right before because I knew that it would give me issues. So I guess it's okay right now. Yeah, Ulf, good advice there. Take it easy. I mean, if you're to the point where you feel pain, you have stiff fingers and feeling pain, you should stop playing immediately. So never play with pain. Especially in Sweden, we have free healthcare. You should go see, usually it's like a naprapat or chiropractor. I don't even know what the word is in English. But you're gonna go to your husläkare, your doctor, and they're gonna send you to someone who can fix it. But never play when you feel pain. That's a no-no because it can get permanent and you're gonna deeply regret it. Nathan, how you doing? Trying to catch up the comments. Dimebag style. So Dimebag did a lot of like symmetrical patterns. I think I haven't learned any of his solos, but That's a good question. Matthias is asking, what's my favorite guitar and can you play on it? So, my favorite guitar today is this one. But also in general, my favorite guitar in terms of sound, I think is this one. This has the best sound. It's also the heaviest one. I don't know if that coincides. Generally, when I record something distorted and with rhythm, I choose this one. However, this guitar is bulky. It's hard to play. It's thick neck, right? So if I'm not in the mood for my best sounding distortion guitar, then I'll choose some other guitar, which you may or may not know. You can't see them in the background. But I can switch gears. Do you have any requests? You guys let me know. Would you want me to play a Strat? Maybe like a more metalish guitar, like an LTD or Solar, or like an Ibanez. If you guys let me know, and I'll see, we'll do like a spontaneous little poll there and see which one gets the most, and I'll just switch. Maybe I can show you the guitars. There they are. Oh, Tele. The Tele is not here right now. Sorry. Strat. We have 1 vote for Strat, 1 vote for Ibanez. That's hard to choose from. We need more votes. There is no Tele. My Tele isn't here in the studio, unfortunately. Iceman. We have 1 for Iceman. Come on. Come on. Okay, Brent. Good to hear you're feeling better now. Ref, so the sleeve is for something, and it just helps me stay warmed up. So it's a very good for that purpose. And basically, when I sit here and speak to you guys, I'm kind of mixing explanations with some faster playing, and sometimes it'll pass quite some time between my more technical playing. So maybe I'm showing you something slowly, I'm speaking, and then all of a sudden 10 minutes have passed and I'm not as warmed up. And this kind of seems to help me stay warmed up. That's all there is to it. I don't have any P90s. I would love to have a guitar with P90s. I don't. So Ibanez, Strat. I think Ibanez and Strat is leading one. So, okay, Strat 3, Ibanez 2. Okay, so we have 3 Strats. Well, Solar. Okay, I go for Strat then, I guess. Strat won the race. Now, of course, I'm still using the high gain channel, so if you were expecting funky sounds, that's probably not going to happen now. If we get lots of requests for me totally changing the tone, we can do that, but that can take a little bit of time, so I'm not sure how interesting it is. I've actually done a whole live stream like 4 or 5 days ago where I was just tweaking the sound, so you can check it out. The replay it's available on the channel. So, are we in tune? That'll do. So I guess I could just show you the guitar first. Maybe that's gonna... Let's see if my camera can pull this up. Oh. So as you can tell, this one is Scalloped. The only guitar I've had professionally Scalloped. The other ones I've done it myself. I also bought a different pick guard. This one. anniversary American Deluxe Strats. Looking tuners. Come on, camera. You can do it. Zoom in. Me. Yeah, anyhow. You've seen it now, let's play it. Let's play it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, it was a little bit tricky going between. This is like a totally different neck profile, right? This is, I guess, pretty standard C shape, whereas the Gibson guitar is probably like a fat D shape or something. Very different. You can easily fit your hand around this neck, whereas with the Gibson, you're more like that. So in theory, this should be easier, but the transition wasn't easy. You just pick guitar and know any specks of dust on it? What does that mean? Sounds like an interesting question, but I didn't understand it. Ooh, hybrid picking, good question. Shut up and play your guitar. Yeah, good words. I don't know what jazzy sounds. Jazz sounds, maybe? I don't do any like bebop jazz, but a lot of the stuff is improvised, so it's jazz in that sense, but not traditional bebop sounding. This is a USA Deluxe Strat. Let's see. Come on, guitar. A Christmas song. We're not ready for that yet. Still autumn here in Sweden. Give me your tutor link. So if you want to check out my teaching, you can just search for my name, Christopher Dahl, and you're going to find my site. Bram, yes, I do this for a living. I've been teaching for 15 or 20 years. Of course, I haven't been regularly live streaming on YouTube, which I started doing just for 1 or 2 weeks. I just have so many hours during the day and I haven't been able to prioritize it. But since you guys are tuning in and coming back, I feel like I might actually keep on doing this. So it's very encouraging to see so many of you here with so many cool comments and all that good stuff. I think I'm going to change guitar because this one is low output, so it didn't really work with this sound. So since many people requested the Ibanez, maybe I'll go for that one. If you have any other requests, just shout them out here. Okay, so you guys want me to give this one a try? I don't know how many times I've stared at the tuner and wondered why it doesn't work, and then it's because I haven't plugged in the guitar. That's a sign you're getting old, I think. Okay, F sharp minor. Okay, so I'm playing over a, let's see here, over a backing track. You can actually find a free version here on this link. The song is called Crystal Doll Jamming, that's true. And the backing track is this one, if you want to check it out. So, hybrid picking, we got a lot of questions about hybrid picking. And I do quite a bit of hybrid picking. So if you look at my right hand, I think I'm gonna grab a strap, and then I can come really close and show you. This is like the smallest strap in the world. It says, "You rock guitar. You rock guitar." Let's try it. Okay, so I'm going to show you up front my hybrid picking technique. I won't be able to speak, but I'll just show you so you have a close look at my right hand. Okay, so you can see I was using my right hand fingers quite a bit there, and I use them for various different approaches. And the coolest one, I think, and the one I started out with, is not the super fancy one. It's just the one where you use your finger just to get a different tone. So if you have like a blues lick, you know, it could be something simple, right? just a bend, right? One note and a bend. That's how I started off. And then I got used to using the finger just by playing my regular blues licks, but instead of the pick, I use the finger. And then after a while, I started going between them, and without knowing it, I was doing hybrid picking. But then I also do it for the fast legato stuff. And a lot of people think this is very difficult, and it is difficult for the left hand, but it's not difficult for the right hand, because I'm just doing pick, hybrid. So I'm picking or using hybrid picking every 3 notes, and that's not very fast, you know? So it's not hard for the right hand, it's only hard for the left hand. So if you want to practice this, it's just 9, 10, 12 on the E and the A string. So 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, and I do... and we can do... wrong key. Oops. Interesting hand posture here. Maybe I should sit like this more often. You do it because of the strap. I don't have nails for hybrid picking, actually. It's more of a flesh thing. My nails are super soft and they always broke really easily, so it's just a flesh thing. If I have nails, it's because I haven't been good at cutting them off. I should get better at it, probably. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna have to end the stream, but as always, it's been an amazing session. You guys are the absolute best. I'm so grateful for you being around here, and these streams wouldn't be anything without your super cool input and helpful and kind words. So thanks so much for that. You are the best. I've been Christopher Dahl. Have a good one. See ya. Cheers.